dear Humanities and Social Science students. I am Edalyn Felix, your Philippine Politics and Governance teacher for today. Welcome to Arellano University series of video lesson that you may able to access 24/7 at the comfort of your home. So for today's lesson, we are going to have our introduction to our subject by discussing the meaning of politics, and I am very happy that you are here to listen and learn.
To start our discussion, I will explain first what is our lesson objective. Our lesson objective is to explain the concept, relationship, and importance of politics, governance, and government. So for this entire lesson, we will be talking about political concepts and its engagement to us, as well also the meaning of and importance of its connection to government and governance. In the beginning, we see politics in the Philippines with so many bad connotations. How does politics affect us, and why is it important that we know politics? Let us watch this news clip courtesy of CNN Philippines.
Sinabi ko hug, sabihin niyo hug, hug, hug.
You know it's election campaign season once again when you see these. And hear these. It's like a fiesta every day.
I climb every mountain.
During sorties, politicians get loud cheers from the audience.
Pangit man akong tingnan. Masarap naman ako kung titikman.
But when you're a celebrity politician like Bong Revilla, almost always, yours is the loudest cheer.
Akala ko, hindi nyo na ako titilian.
Bakit mo tinitilaan si... Siyempre, gwapo! Gwapo siya, mabait. Si Bong Revilla. Idol namin po si Bong Revilla.
Because of the warm welcome from the public, Revilla and Estrada are confident they will return to the Senate, despite their plunder case on the multi-billion peso pork barrel scam. Revilla was acquitted. Estrada is out on bail. Sociologist Clifford Zurita explains the timing of issues is key.
It's not that people don't care about the issue, it's that it's no longer in the public consciousness sometimes, and therefore people tend to forget.
Campaign strategist Malu Tiquia says 60% of voters are poor, those from the DNE social classes who tend to vote based on personality and popularity of candidates. These are also the people who turn to entertainment after a hard day's work, sometimes even confusing what's real from make-believe.
Intelligent voters will never vote for artistas. But the 60% of us will vote for them kasi kilala, because endearing sila.
Zurita says the ideal voter considers a candidate's platform and track record.
It's not that people don't want to know this candidate, it's just because they have no time. Because they really have to, instead of doing the research, they would rather go to their jobs and, put food on the table, to send their children to school.
With 62 senatorial bets competing for only 12 seats, Tiquia says it's very important for candidates to be top of mind among voters, especially on election day. So how do candidates make sure that voters remember them? Tiquia says celebrities have about 40% awareness rating. But what if you're not a celebrity? Then you try to be like one.
Magprangkahan tayo. Yung mga tao na yan, pupunta dyan, purposely ba para makinig lang ng issues? I don't think so. Ang mga tao na yan, pupunta dyan para sumaya. Karamihan dyan. Kung mapapatawa yung mga tao dyan, gagaan na yung loob sa inyo. Kaysa, hindi yung makikinig. Mag-debate ka na, mag-presenta ka ng plataforma.
I hope plataforma yung sinasabi nila kasi so far nakikita natin mukhang entertainment lang naman.
Tiquia says educational attainment and impressive achievements used to matter to many voters, but not anymore.
In various candidates, we've really tried looking for a candidate that way, na someone we can respect, someone we can look up to, and look what happened to us. So bumaba yung antas of the way voters would judge a candidate.
Analysts agree unless the gut issues are addressed, until voters get decent jobs, have food on the table, it would be difficult for many of them to put the country first when they cannot even take care of their own family. Joyce Ila, CNN Philippines.
So after watching the news clip, what did you feel the most? How do you see the positive and negative attitude of Filipino based on how they elect a politician in the country? Do you agree that many Filipinos are voting wisely, and why not? Leave in your concept notes your answers so I can check what are your opinions. Filipinos often been amused and believed by many propaganda and sweet flowering words of many aspiring politicians that running for election to manage the country. Through learning politics, it's clearly obvious that all of us have personal interest, but we must not take it for granted that the purpose of proper governance will be in the process. We must not think that politics itself is dirty, corrupt, and lack of justice. What we need to do first is not to act corrupt and always obtain our dignity in many circumstances. To be that kind of person free from any anomaly, let's now start discussing what is politics. Politics comes from the Greek word polis, which means affairs of the city-state, while politics itself is defined as the activities and affairs of the state and government. It is a social activity associated with the practice of government, search for conflict resolution, administration of public affairs, and assumption of power or authority. To make it more shorter, politics is known as an art or science of government concerned with proper management of affairs of society, and its primary concern with association of human beings closed into a body politic or a political community that is known for being organized and under the government and law. Understanding politics is not easy. It requires you to be a political scientist. Yes, we can claim that we are one of political scientists because political science is a systematic study of state and government. This came from the word political, which is from the Greek word polis, meaning city or sovereign state, and science, which is from the Latin words "scire" or to know. Mostly, political science is the course that may teach deeply the concept of politics, governance, and government. The biggest question here is, why do we need to study politics? Why are you here watching this video lesson? These are the following reasons why we need to study politics. First of all, we need to know our rights. Politics will help you to know your rights, and politics clarifies what you believe. Politics is a living and breathing subject because it has too many contemporary issues that changing constantly. Politics is a living or breathing subject because each day it grows even more, and it offers us a lot of things to learn for. Politics helps you to understand our nation's parties. And lastly, politics prepares you to adult life or for your adult life. Due to the fact that politicians manage the government and governments tries to touch our lives, we are the main product of politics, which means that we are learning from the interventions of the government that is applying from our day by day lives. From time to time, we need to follow the government, and it is a give and take process. We need to follow the government, its rules and its regulation, for us to have a prosperous country. Therefore, we need to obey the law and regulations that our government constitution has to offer. Since I said a while ago that politics teaches us or preparing us for adult life, we will be learning as well that in life we must not going to the flow, but we must correct what is wrong, believe what is right, and make things that sense the most. So to provide us an overview of political concept or politics concept, we have here a concept map. So politics is connected entirely with governance, people, and government. Specifically, governance shows the way how politicians run their administration, while people express the way or the way how they will obey the rules and regulations that our government has to offer. And lastly, politics needs government because government stands as the tool to make public service possible by enriching people's needs and peace order. Governance is not only the word to describe service. People has the most and greatest possibilities to influence one another and even government and governance. Government is not only established as a building comprises of different politicians and different interests or different personal interests. Politics entirely concerned with what is the ideology that must be obeyed, because politics doesn't only stop from people's needs or people's want. Politicians demand and politicians plans to make our nation great. Later on, through following lessons that we will going to tackle, you will understand more the bolder look of politics, the essence of learning it, not only a subject but an application to each and everyone's life. Before this video ends, let me share to you that even each everyone from us is not a politician, a humanities and social science student, or a political scientist. We ought to follow the government and to exercise our duties applying politics and be a well-mannered individual respecting our way of patriotism. So based on the preamble of the 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, we all Filipino are engaged to the government because we ought to follow the preamble saying that we, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government that shall embody our ideas, aspirations, promote the common good, conserve and develop our patrimony, and secure to ourselves, our posterity, the blessings of independence and democracy under the rule of law and the regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace do ordain and promulgate this Constitution. Okay, since we're done discussing what is the meaning of politics, let us try if you can recall some of your experiences about politics. So, let's have an activity that we call Use It. So, use the politics. Okay? How do you encounter politics in the following sense of field? So, first we have here is institution. First institution that we have here is school. Next is community. Next is family. And lastly, we have workplace. So, think for a certain situation that you think that politics is applied on school, community, family, and workplace. So, for example, in school, it's a political manner that we use to compete with our classmates for higher grades. In community, we used to join some programs that is engaging in youth activities. So what's more, so in family, we used to have the father as the center leader of the house. So followed by workplace. Okay, so what did we usually do in workplace that is applying politics entirely? So we may add up that in workplace, we must cooperate well with our colleagues and our workmates so that we gain promotion, or else we may gain increase from our salaries. Maybe some of you can relate to that because some of you are working students already. That are just an example of how do we usually encounter politics from day-to-day lives. You may add up some of the things that you usually think it must be possible to share some of your experiences regarding how did you encounter politics in your lives. You may all share your answers later on in our discussion. Before this video ends, let us all take the following references to make this video lesson possible. We're done to discuss lesson number 1, meaning of politics. Till our next video lesson, again, I am your Philippine Politics and Governance teacher, Miss Edeline Felix. Thank you so much for listening.